Good morning, dear children. Biology. If somebody asks you, what is biology as a subject? Often it comes in a mind that biology is a study of living organism. It is a study of life. But does it mean it is only studying the living organism? Rather, I must say that biology is beyond the study of living organism. Because we know each and every living organism has an environment. And that is what is called as a habitat. Because without environment, no living organism can survive. This physical environment is what is termed as abiotic component, sustains life. So therefore, all biotic components or living organisms are dependent upon these abiotic components. So what is the relationship? How these biotic components are dependent on abiotic components? The relationship is based on energy. Because without flow of energy, no living organism can survive. So what is the source of this energy? The source of energy is this abiotic component. The air, the water, the soil, the temperature, the light, the pressure, the pH. Each and every component of this environment or the abiotic component helps in sustaining life. They provide energy for life to sustain. And therefore, I must tell you, all biotic components are dependent upon abiotic components for energy. Whereas, abiotic components are not dependent on biotic components. But, in today's context, we can say their health is dependent upon our activities. Because we have been behaving like a parasite. We have leached everything out of this environment. And in return, we are not giving back anything. We have damaged and destroyed the air quality, the water quality, the soil quality. So their health, the health of those abiotic components are in danger because of anthropogenic pressure, because of urge to extract more. We have been milking this earth like anything. So what is going to happen? If this life supporting system is going to vanish, then what about our existence? We would also perish. So therefore, we need to understand in biology, it is not about studying the living organism only. It is about knowing how a living organism survives in coherence with its environment. The niche, the habitat, that favorable condition which sustains life. So therefore, study of biology becomes all the more important and significant when we include both the component of science, the physical component or the abiotic component and the biological component. And this flow of energy is always unidirectional from the source to the sink. For life to sustain on earth, the ultimate source of energy is sun or the geothermal energy. So from sun, the photons, that energy-rich packets of energy, that small packets of energy, a quantum, they actually help in initiating the process of photosynthesis by which autotrophic organism prepares food, the primary food being glucose on which all the heterotrophic organisms are dependent. So had there been no light, there wouldn't have been production of chemical-rich molecule like glucose. And if there is no glucose, then forget about life on Earth. Because each and every heterologous organisms are dependent upon that primary source of energy, that is glucose. Because we know energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but you can always transform that energy from one form to another. So the solar energy is converted into chemical-rich energy, that is glucose, and that chemical-rich energy is oxidized by the process of respiration to yield ATP, which provides energy for different type of metabolic activities occurring within a living organism. In a series of lectures, I am going to explain each and every aspect of life. But the prime focus of today's lecture is biology the study of living organism? Or it means something else, something more? Yes, it is. So let's go back. Let's go back to our basics. What makes a cell? What creates life? If this question is being asked to you all, what is your answer? The answer is the creation of every living cell lies within the non-living component. Surprising, isn't it? But it is true. Rocks, which are the reservoir of minerals, they are the ultimate source of life. Had there been no rocks, there wouldn't have been any minerals. And it is only because of those minerals, when they reacted, when they interacted with each other, that gave rise to a living molecule or a cell. Let's see. The story begins with electron, proton, and neutron. See, electron, proton, neutron, those three combines together to form an element which can be an atom. And we know there are 118 elements discovered so far on Earth's crust. So these 118 atoms or elements further combines to form a molecule or a compound. So let's see. Atoms made up of electron, proton, neutron. So that means, think of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus. They all are atoms. They all are elements. They don't have life. They are lifeless. But when they combine together in a fixed proportion, they give rise to a molecule or a compound. And this is where the secret of life begins. This molecule further combines to form a cell. So that means these compounds, which may be rich in aldehyde or ketone, is actually biomolecules. And that gives rise to a cell. And this is where life begins. So for any organism on Earth, the basic or the primary requirement is it is made up of cell. Without cell, no organism can exist or survive. So I do consider that biology begins from here, from a cell. But what about the previous history? Where from this cell originated? From compounds or molecules. Where from these molecules or compounds originated? From atoms. And where from these atoms originated? From electron, proton, and neutron. So don't you think here chemistry and physics is very much there within biology? Because the moment you study the structure of atom, it is a chemist who does it. And when the electron revolves around the centrally placed nucleus with a fixed velocity, it's a physicist who studies the velocity. So therefore you see, biology is not one subject. It is a combination of many other science fields. Now cells combines together to form tissues. So therefore, tissues can be considered to be a group of cells having similar origin, structure and function. It means division of labor. It means each and every tissue has a specific role to play. For example, eardrum is meant for hearing. Retina is meant for vision. You cannot hear from your retina. You cannot see through your eardrums. You don't expect Sachin Tendulkar to play football, whereas you don't expect Messi to hit that cricket ball as clean as Sachin Tendulkar. So they are specialists in their own domain. Tissues are specialists in their own domain. Tissues further combines to form organs. Organ, what does it mean? It means each and every organ, which is in turn made up of tissues, has a specialized function to perform. If I tell you, who pumps your blood? It is definitely the heart, not the kidney. If I ask you, who filters your blood? It is actually the kidney, not the heart. So, do you think heart is going to filter your blood and kidney is going to pump your blood? It's not like that. So it means each and every organ has a specific function to perform. And when many organs put together, they form organ system. So within a human body, there are different type of organ systems like digestive system, circulatory system, excretory system, nervous system, reproductive systems. So all systems put together forms an organism. It's just like Team India, consisting of 11 players, and each and every player is a specialist. Some are specialist batsmen, some are specialist bowlers, some are specialist wicket keeper. So balanced team consists of all the specialists. You don't expect 11 of the players to be a batsman. Then how can you defend your score? So the team has to be balanced. So organ system combines different type of organs, and each organ are specialists in their own field. If I talk about our digestive system, it begins with the mouth and ends with the anus. So mouth, buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, duodenum, jejunum, ileum, cecum, rectum, followed by anus. So each and every organ has a specific role to play. All put together forms the digestive system. So organs forms organ system, and organ system eventually is present within an organism, which is also termed as species. Scientists believes in total the environment is consisting of 15 million species, 15 million species are expected to exist on this earth. Species, what does it mean? Species which can interbreed. Human being will breed with a human being. Virus will breed with the virus, bacteria with the bacteria. So each and every species can breed amongst themselves. So when each species breed, there is an increase in the number, and that is what is called as population. So every species would have its population. So when human being breeds, it is forming population of human beings. When virus breed, it is a population of virus. When bacteria breeds, a population of bacteria. So population means a group of individuals of single species. Now when different type of population combines together, it forms the community. So community is a heterogeneous population. So in this classroom, when I'm taking my class, my lecture, it is not only about human beings being present here. It is even the bacteria which are invisible, but they are very much there in this room. Even there are viruses in this room. So population of human being, population of bacteria, population of virus put together forms community. It's a heterogeneous combination of different type of populations. And this community is actually surviving within an environment, and that is what is called as the ecosystem, from where I started my lecture. Because no organism can survive in isolation. You don't expect life to exist in space, because in space there is no air. There is no environment. So therefore, in an ecosystem, different type of populations coheres. to form a community, and there is an exchange of energy, the flow of energy from abiotic component to biotic components. And ecosystem further combines to form a biome. So what is ecosystem basically? And how many types of ecosystems are present on Earth? Broadly, we can categorize ecosystem two parts: aquatic and terrestrial. That means animals, those who have their habitat on water, in water, and on land. So aquatic ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem. Now aquatic ecosystem further up two types. It can be freshwater ecosystem, marine water ecosystem. Freshwater means meetha pani, or marine water is khara pani. Now freshwater may be of two types. It may be a stagnant water found in ponds or lakes, or it can be a running water found in rivers and streams. And under marine ecosystem, that can be oceans, estuary, coral reefs. I'm going to explain each and everything in detail in my following lectures on ecology. So broadly, there are 5 different types of aquatic ecosystems: running water, standing water, oceans, estuary, and coral reefs. 2 being freshwater and 3 being marine. And in terrestrial ecosystem, forest, grassland, tundra, desert, mountains, they all are different type of terrestrial ecosystems. So broadly, there are 10 different type of ecosystems with further subdivisions of each ecosystems. So when you combine all the ecosystems together, that forms the biome. So India is a biome because India has different type of ecosystems put together. We have the Himalayas, we have the tundras in Kargil and Dras, we have the Thar desert, we have the tropical evergreen forest in Kerala and in Arunachal Pradesh. We have rivers, we have plains, we have mountains, we have grasslands, we have estuaries, we have coral reefs. So all put together forms biome. And biome combines to form this planet Earth, the biosphere, the only planet which sustains life, which is believed to sustain life, because research is an ongoing process. You never know. Tomorrow, scientists may come up with some new findings stating there are different other planets where life is possible and existing. So that time will only tell. So I hope I have been able to communicate to you that biology is actually a combination of many subjects. Chemistry, physics, let me tell you something more. Ecosystem. When we study ecosystem, we study the environment also. That is geography and geology. And who can forget Gregor John Mendel, the famous geneticist? We know him as a biologist, but he was never a biologist. He was a mathematician. He was very good in statistics, and that what helped him in doing something great in biology. So you see, there is mathematics in biology. When we do genetics, when we study heredity, you need to use mathematical skills. So by default, in biology, there is mathematics. And when you study fossils, when you study the past, there is a paleontology. And that has to do with anthropology, the human history, the human civilization. And what about bioinformatics, the trending science today? Because when human genome was deciphered in 2003, the huge chunk of data, 6.610 to the 9 base pairs, where to store, how to retrieve the data without the usage of computers, biostatistics. So therefore you see, biology is a combination of many subjects. So therefore I must term it to be a synthetic subject, a beautiful subject which encompasses many other subjects of science. In my following lectures, I'm going to tell you the origin of the earth. I'm going to tell you the secret of life. Thank you very much.